Listener warning. Everything about this podcast is offensive and often stupid. Live from Racine, Wisconsin, it's a podcast that goes dun 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 dun.
Push it real good,
guys, games and beer.
Yeah!
Today with me, we've got a special guest, and that guest is
Joe.
Yay!
Hi, Joe.
Hi, Joe.
And he's with
the DIY arcade racing cabinet project on Kickstarter.
darn right, and we will definitely have a link down below of the video, and for those of you who are listening to the podcast, which is pretty much all of you, it'll be down there in the show notes, of course. So let's start with the beer. Oh, you can tell we're off pace today.
I'm on pace.
We're on pace. Wait a minute. Wait.
No, it's off.
No,
I feel it. Your pacing is off, people.
I think it was.
We need to drink more.
I'm thinking Rob is projecting. Yeah. So Larry bought the show beer. So Larry gets to talk about the show beer.
I thought, since we're talking about racing, that if you want your car to go just a little faster, you'd add a little nitro to it. So that's the beer we're doing today. It's a milk stout by Left Hand Brewing.
I'm drinking the wrong beer.
Yeah, yours is over there.
I'm afraid I'm
And so, now stout, it has a warning that it's hard to pour, so how about the rest of you? I'm just going to keep it in the old bottle. That way I don't have to.
I like the very simple ingredients: Rocky Mountain water, malted barley, lactose, flaked oats, hops, and yeast.
That is a.
Keeping it simple.
That is
Did you
keeping
say
it simple.
lactose?
Yeah,
It's a milk stout.
So you could totally substitute this for breast milk.
I don't know if I
that's
go
what that
But
means.
that also means that if you're lactose intolerant, you ain't drinking this.
And I also really like when beers, like, they give you lots of information about it. Like this one's enjoy between 40 and 45 degrees Fahrenheit in a stout glass, how to pour the beer, what flavors you're looking for.
Wow, they do actually. Holy
Yeah.
cow.
They
Stout glass.
break- they have a little
Okay,
picture.
no, really,
Yeah,
no.
they break
No,
this
I gotta
down
show this
for
to
you.
the audience because that's actually pretty damn impressive. They literally tell you how
It's
to
very well
serve it.
designed.
Yeah,
Yes.
that is actually good labeling. So, for all our other craft brewers out there, that's not a bad thing to put on the back of your beer.
Especially because we're drunk so often that we may not remember.
Exactly.
But I am not looking. I don't see alcohol by volume.
It's
Six.
probably six. Okay.
It's probably on the 6-pack.
No, it's 6. The alcohol level is 6.
On the 6-pack.
Okay, that's not bad. For a
This is like a beer sickle.
yeah, it is actually.
It's smooth, delicious, and it does taste like breast milk.
do. And Ben knows this.
Sucked a titty or two.
We got him. Yeah, but mine don't count, Ben.
But again, I grew up really liking stouts, and I think milk stouts are generally delicious and awesome. So I definitely this is one I drink regularly.
This is a thumbs up
I
milk
like it.
stout.
Again, milk stouts
I
are a
don't
good
like
compromise
stouts.
for people who don't like the dark and roastedness of a stout. A milk stout's a good compromise. You get that milkiness that really balances.
Cuts it out.
You don't like
And I
you don't
think
like your
that's
black
why
coffee.
maybe
You
I
toss
like
some
this.
cream in
Right,
it,
and that's it.
boom, it is.
Coffee with cream.
I do not believe I've ever had a milk stout sober before. And it's pretty damn good.
This is not bad. All right, so
Found my
No,
new
you're supposed to
lunch beer.
start with your good beers and end with your I don't care what it tastes like beer.
now that we've actually done the beer, and that was a unanimous thumbs up on that one. So
That's the first unanimous thumbs up we've had in a while.
I think so.
Yeah,
That's
I think
actually
so,
yeah,
yes,
that's
it is.
solid.
We've had a lot of crappy beers lately.
This is not a local. It's out of California, so there's a pretty good chance you might be able to find it in your area.
You mean Colorado?
Oh, Colorado, sorry.
A little closer.
Look, it starts with a C.
It starts with a C. He
That's
was close. All right.
Canada.
All right. Let's get back to our
Hey,
topic.
I'm sorry, I thought I left and I thought California.
Chad,
Yeah.
Africa.
We have a myriad of questions here about the project. So why don't we go ahead and go around and start asking people what they want to find out about this project?
I think, why don't we start, why don't you give us an overview, Man, you and your big
Wow,
word.
that was
synopsis.
I said Myriad, so
He's
he had to.
good.
Here's your
showing
10
it up.
cents.
I just said, could you give a general
You did, didn't
description?
you? You did. I knew you didn't.
I knew you beat your dad.
Oh, they're rowdy today.
Oh, okay. So let's get the overview of the project.
I think it's in response of you're like trying to push us down.
Yeah, you really did.
push it real good.
I'm gonna so torment you later.
All right, Joe.
Let's talk project.
So this all started actually probably about 4 years ago. My stepson is mildly autistic, and he's like super into cars, always has been, loves driving games. And so, when we started kind of building out the home arcade, we wanted to, build something for him. So I looked for what was out there. I looked, there is a couple of cool projects guys have done. There is one like construction plan out there for a system. Wasn't really right for me. So, I was like, well, you know what? I'm an engineer. I'm going to design and build something of my own. So I built this thing. Built it around a PlayStation, play seat, has a G25 steering wheel. And it's just freaking cool. First time I got into this thing and spun out, man, I thought I was going to get motion sick. So, he loves it, plays it, almost every day. I was talking to a buddy of mine who's a mechanical engineer, and we were looking for, just a cool project we could do on Kickstarter. Decided we would take the design files I did with this, take them to the next level, get them all in SolidWorks, create real drawings, and, get it out in the world. And, the idea was, not to make a bunch of money, maybe put a little cash in our pockets, so we set our goals low, and thought that, some other people might be interested in what we did.
Everybody's actually staring at pictures right now.
Yeah. Again,
Well, and I got to tell you, now there was when I looked at it, there was one thing there. So there's the cabinet piece, but then there's obviously a lot of metal works to it. Is that part of the design, or is that part of like a kit that you get and then you build the cabinet then around that? I wasn't sure on that.
Yeah, like some of the seats have
Yeah,
this, like-
so there's a few systems out there that are the seats, right? And that are intended for you to just mount your steering wheel system to. The one that I used is called Play Seat, right? They're one of the most common ones out there. It's all of your metal work. They work, they're specifically designed around the Logitech steering wheel systems. There's a couple of other brands, but really the most popular one that I've seen is Play Seat. And so we picked that up as kind of, really the first part. And, it started out with that just being put in front of a TV. And so what I wanted to do is really turn it into a dedicated system. So the plans are all about building the wooden cabinet and, how to customize it for, the hardware that, the backer for the Kickstarter project would already come with, right? So, they would obviously have whatever gaming system they want. There are different ways to modify it to incorporate it. If you want to build this thing out around the PC, you want to build it out around the PlayStation or whatever system. If you have a Play Seat or if you have another brand seat, how to adjust the various dimensions to accommodate your custom equipment. There are things in there like how to modify TV stands so it'll work. The TV stand in the picture is actually for ceiling mount, and so because there are no just posts that you can just go buy, right? So I bought that thing, took it apart, put it back together so it'll mount upside down.
That's actually pretty clever.
Yeah.
Right. So it's all these little tricks and details on how to make all these things fit together, and then build out this cabinet with these construction plans.
Hey, hold on a second. We're kind of getting a lot of
just
jumpiness
Yeah,
here.
I'm going to ask the next question anyways. So, as far as the cut list goes for this, is this like a single sheet project or is it a multi-sheet project?
Hello?
I think we lost our guest.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm having
Okay,
yeah, we're having some.
we are breaking up pretty bad.
Ground control to Major Tom. We're breaking up. We're breaking up.
Okay, all right.
It's over,
I will ask that question one more time. Is it a single sheet cut project or is it a multi-sheet cut project? And I am
While
not gonna
we're
get-
waiting,
No,
Yeah, breaking up really.
What do you mean by that?
Okay, so a lot of these projects are designed to fit on
It's
a
a multi-sheet. So, yeah, there are. I don't have the bill of materials in front of me, but it's roughly $100 in wood.
All right. So Larry's asking what I meant by this. Let me explain what that means. So some of the cockpit projects that you see online are designed to be cut out of a single 4x8 sheet of plywood. Multi-sheet naturally costs a little bit more, so you have to buy multiple sheets. And it depends how they nestle the parts and the design on that 4x8 sheet. So if you're a first-time woodworker, somebody who doesn't have a lot of experience in that kind of thing, it's often nice to work off a single sheet. If you're a little bit more experienced, multi-sheet works better. So,
all right. So one thing I noticed.
let's see if we have Joe back yet. Joe, can you still hear us?
The other thing is, yeah, I can hear you much better now.
All right, good.
The connection is stabilized. So, it's actually, the majority of the wood is 1/2-inch MDF. Just to keep it cheap, it's, reinforced inside with some 2x4s. The floor is a 1/2-inch plywood. That's the base. And then the top is actually 3/4-inch plywood. It's a little overbuilt, to be honest. I wanted to make the thing bomb-proof. My son is going to be playing with it. I'm not really always taking such good care of it, so I wanted to make it really robust.
There's nothing wrong with an overbuild, trust me.
And there's always those moments where you're really angry when you lose because the game totally cheats, obviously.
Of course.
And you get angry and something breaks.
Yeah.
Yeah. Better. Okay.
So it's a complete list then
A
with.
butt kicker vibration system in there. So I wasn't sure, construction after it was built.
What did you use for your vibration system?
15-inch
What's
woofer.
that?
What did you use for your vibration system?
The rabbit.
No, I'm thinking the Aura systems probably. And we've lost them again. Damn it.
Yeah, you know what I'm going to do? We're going to take a 5-minute break and I'm going to reboot the router. And we're back. Thank you. That helped. For you, it's only been but a minute, but for us, it's been an excruciating amount of time.
5 minutes.
Ever for that
5 years.
router to reboot. Yeah, that happens. That's the joy of streaming things.
So back to what we were talking about.
I believe we were on jiggering a single sheet system versus a multi-sheet system, and this
Then we got to
particular
the sound
project
stuff, I think.
No,
was
vibration. We got into vibrators.
We got to the
Well-
vibrator.
While we were taking the break, I took a look at my original bill of materials and for how I built this. And I built it out of, it looks like 3 sheets.
Okay.
And so when you get the build kit, it includes like everything you need to fabricate, right?
No,
like
this is just the plan.
No, it's
the
just
build
the plan.
list.
No, this is the plans.
Yeah.
Well, the plans does that include like okay,
Oh, this
well
is the shopping
I
list.
used 24 screws or I don't
Yeah. Yeah, so what it is it's going to be a step-by-step guide with pictures. In addition to that, you're going to have a CAD drawing of every piece.
Oh, nice. That's
Nice.
Right? So you'll have a 2D engineering quality drawing. I mean, this is what, me and my buddy do for a living is we do engineering drawings. And so, in fact, he does it for commercial furniture. So I mean, he does this stuff all the time.
So if you happen to be a member of a makerspace and they have a nice CNC wood thing, you're in good shape.
Absolutely.
Nice. Okay, that's
So,
Nice
no,
callback. Nice callback.
This is a big thing. So we here at Guys Games and Beer are huge mech fanatics. Like, the old BattleTech system. We personally own probably about 8 Steel Battalion controllers between the group. I personally own 3. I looked at this and I was like, this would make, with a little modification, a perfect Steel Battalion cockpit.
It would.
Like for giant robots, things like that, you could easily mount a Steel Battalion cockpit.
Yeah.
Let me explain to Joe what that is. So Joe, there was a game for the original Xbox called Steel Battalion that had a very specialized controller with like 140
buttons.
buttons.
It's just 40.
No, 40 buttons and 2 very large joysticks. It was designed for this game and this
It
game
also
only.
had pedals at the bottom, too.
Yeah, and 3
That
pedals.
might have been counted as buttons.
But it really was a very specific thing for the game. But people have hacked it up for other games now, and it really does make a good controller for mech games. And yeah, Travis is right. This would not be hard to modify your design to work with mech controllers as well.
As racing games.
Yeah, and I bet
Yeah.
those pedals would walk less.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, so from
Well, and one of the things that I think is really cool is I want to do this in a way that people can tweak it and make it their own. As I put the guide together, which it's not complete yet, we've got all the drawings are all done. I have all the build pictures. We're putting the guide together. We have another 50 days of the project, to get that done. But as I do, I want to call out places where, hey, you could do this or you could tweak that. These are some of the things I did. And plus, to your point, here's all the drawings. With every dimension, go crazy.
So you would, but I want to jump back to something you mentioned before. You said you'd put a vibration system in it. Did you use like the Aura vibration systems in that, or what did you use in that?
I used the Gamer 2 system from Butt Kicker.
Okay. So basically, for people who may not know what we're talking about with vibration systems, it's usually a large magnet that takes the subwoofer type sounds and vibrates whatever surface it's connected to. So Aura makes these. They're designed for like home
Nice
theaters
job.
and things like that, but they're also designed for gaming rigs as well. And it really is just a very large thing that a large magnet you connect to something, and when the subwoofer goes off, it vibrates the structure accordingly.
Maybe you can just stick a vest in there.
We've done that.
You stuck vests in your floor.
I did. I told you. Yeah. They worked fucking awesome. That really adds a nice dimension to whatever you're doing. To have that rumble feel when you wipe out or when you're racing down the track, that extra rumble really adds a lot of realism to the game.
That's something I always liked.
Yeah, you can feel it when you rev the engine of a car. It's really amazing.
Nice.
Yeah, and on top of that, so I built my system around the PS3. And so what I have is the PlayStation headset that has the bass impact in it, right? So in addition to the vibration of the seat, there's just a touch of vibration that actually goes through the headphones as well.
Huh.
Nice.
That's cool. Yeah. Again,
I mean, it's a completely immersive experience.
It's amazing. Again, we do a lot of work with like virtual reality and little things like vibration and things like that add to the experience just immensely.
Yeah, any sort of feedback like that, I always really liked. Like even in arcade racing systems, some of the favorite ones I enjoyed for racing were the ones that had fans and blowers in it to give the feel like if you're on a motorcycle, things like that. Like that was really cool. There was one I saw once that
I
someone
like
had
to burn
modded.
rubber.
Someone had modded one. It was like a snowmobiling game, and they had a cooler, like an AC system in there to blow cold air on you. And I'm like, that's awesome.
Is that the X Games?
Again, the little touches go a long way.
I think it was a different game.
So now we haven't gotten into it yet. So we've talked about the actual build. You mentioned the chair used. Now, what other chairs have you looked at? Other chairs and said, okay, to put this other chair in there, all you have to do is this modification or that modification? Or is that something you're going to kind of leave up to the end user, saying, okay, well, if you want to use another chair, that's fine. Here's what you need, the base you need to do to modify.
Yeah, I'm probably going to take a look at the dimensions of a couple of the other popular ones, so I can call it out in a little more detail than that. But one of the key differences between most of the chairs is actually the length of them. Now I designed this thing in 2 parts. So the sled part is the bottom, and then the main cabinet, the front end. It actually comes apart completely with 2 bolts. So you can make major adjustments for other size chairs just based on where you place the 2 lag bolts that bolt the 2 pieces of the cabinet together.
You know what I thought about, and this okay. So I had kind of a design in my head a way back, and never really did much with it. But one of the ideas I had was getting a bucket seat from a junkyard. Out of a car. Just standard car.
Midget, maybe. Just saying.
So, do you think, and I looked at your design, and I noticed how the upper deck works, and I was wondering, I bet if you bolted a standard car seat to that. The nice thing about a car seat is the sort of mechanism to adjust is sort of built into the seat, and then that's bolted into the car. So when you take a car seat, you get the adjustment mechanism with it, and then you just bolt it to whatever you're going to bolt it to. So when I looked at this design, I thought, I wonder if I could bolt that to the top, and then I could adjust it to whatever I wanted.
My seat's adjustable.
Yeah, most of the game seats.
It'll slide forward and back.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I actually thought about doing the same thing. I considered going to the junkyard, pulling a seat out of a car. I also considered just buying a fancy race car seat, even though that would be ungodly expensive. But bear in mind the reason I was doing this was for my son. So I was thinking about putting that much money into it just so he could get that experience. Ultimately, I decided not to do that because I really like the way that when you buy the off-the-shelf seat system from Playseat or from Open Wheeler is another one. Our Seat's another one. They really bring the steering wheel into you with that, the metal bracketing that they have. It makes it a little more natural. Now, there is, I don't know, I think it's our Seat that has it, that is actually just a mounting for the steering wheel and pedals. And so, something like that would go really well if somebody wanted to, instead of using, a full seat system, just incorporate an actual car seat.
Okay, that actually makes sense to me.
though.
You could do it.
Yeah.
Absolutely. In fact, it'd be really easy because, if you've ever pulled a seat out of a car, there's really just 4 bolts.
All the time.
Right. Yeah, I do it all the time, right?
Every day. Yeah.
Well, I pull the back seat out of my car all the time for, moving games around. I'm sure you guys...
Yeah, we know that all too well.
But that's why I thought, what an easy thing is. And junkyards are full of these.
Well,
So-
yes, but again,
But they tend to be, you may not even be that much money ahead.
No, I doubt you will be.
because,
They're expensive.
When I priced it, and this was a couple years ago, it was about $70
Right.
for a car seat.
And then you also have to worry about the little old lady smell or hooker blood or, this person ran somebody over.
I gotta admit, the hooker blood might really make Grand Theft Auto that
a little
much
more realistic,
real.
yeah.
Okay.
All right, Joe. Quick question for you. So you'd mentioned before about the unit breaking down or being adjustable with the 2 bolts. What's the overall footprint on this system?
It's about, it's 30 inches wide. It's about maybe another 30 inches tall. And it's about 6 foot long.
Okay, so and from what I saw, and I might be mistaken, it's basically it's a stay together unit though. It's not like a fold up. When you're done, you fold it up and put it against the wall or whatever. This is a real cockpit type deal or a real racing cockpit type deal that stays together. Is that correct?
Yeah, it stays together. It's once you get all the the equipment bolted in and wired up, you don't want to take it apart too often if you don't have to. For me, I have a stairwell with a 90-degree turn in it, so it was really important to be able to move it downstairs into my basement. So I wanted to build it into two pieces. And that was one of the key features for me. I didn't even need a dolly to move it. I could just pick up one half, bring it downstairs, move the other, slide them together, and then install the play seat and the gaming system.
And for all of us who live in old houses, thank you so much. Because yes, it's always that damn stairwell that you can never get it down. So being able to break the system down at least into a couple of pieces once you're done building it and getting it downstairs.
I also agree that's a big advantage of putting that in the design of how do I move this thing into a reasonable room.
Right.
Maybe you don't have a basement, you don't have a downstairs, but you have a bedroom you're not using, but it's a smaller bedroom.
Right.
And how do I get this 6-foot-long thing
Exactly,
into
into
my
that room.
over here? Do I stand it up?
Yeah, exactly. And so being able to break it down like that is a big plus.
Yeah.
Yeah, another important thing is, for me, I wanted to build some storage into it. And so, I have two openings. One is the coin door, which is actually a fake coin door from Hack.
You stole my question!
Yeah. So I put that in there for two reasons. One is
Piggy bank.
if you open that coin door, you get direct access to the front of the PS3.
Nice.
So it's kind of cool, and it gives it the look and feel of the rest of the stuff in my game room.
What? It's not a piggy bank?
It's not a piggy bank.
Ben thought it should have been a piggy bank.
I thought he just wanted to put junk in his trunk.
But the other opening is the hood. I used the piano hinge to hinge the hood. And in fact, the new design drawings clean that up, so it's going to be like super tight seams. I'm an electrical engineer, so when I first designed this, it was a little kind of blocky at the top and the bottom, but my buddy's mechanical engineer, he said he cleaned all that up. So when you open up the hood, though, that's where all my storage is, right? So I've just got all the games stored in there, extra controller, the headphones, everything goes in there.
Nice.
Okay, we haven't talked about yet monitors on this system. So what are you using for your display?
He did. He covered it at the beginning.
Did he?
Yep.
I missed it.
TV turned
Alzheimer's.
upside down.
You remember
Tom
the
has Alzheimer's. No, he said
the monitor itself, a 30
The monitor. I
inch or
didn't
40
know.
the
He was
mounting
talking about the
gear.
mounting gear. I want to know what monitor.
Oh, you really want to know?
I really want to know exactly.
CRT?
Yeah, right. No. As far as the
No.
flat screen is he going? What size did he go? Did he go with a 32? Did he go with a 46? I mean, so what did you do as far as that goes?
So I went with a 32-inch television. And I chose a TV versus a monitor for the reason that I wanted to find a TV that had front-facing speakers.
Yeah.
So when you weren't using it with headphones, you still had all the sound facing you. I didn't need a sound system beyond the TV itself. Whereas if I'd have gone with a monitor, the only sound would have been the headphones, or I would have had to add in, some other speaker system.
So you have no other speaker system. It's either you use the headphones or you're relying on the monitor or the TV's sound system for audio on this.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you find the problem with and some of the newer games that have surround sound? How's the overall on that?
I'll be honest with you, I don't actually play that many racing games. My stepson does. He's never complained. And, I think...
You built him a racing cockpit. How could he complain?
Yeah, he owes you one.
Yeah, really, come on.
No.
Again, with the headphones... The
Feels a little
headphones are
heavy
really
into
where
the
it's
left
at.
corner.
You balance
Right.
those tires.
The headphones are just stereo, but, the cool thing about having that extra bass in there, you're not paying that much attention to, the background music. You're far more interested in, the sounds of the engine and, the squeals as you're braking to go around those corners.
Yesterday I was recording footage and I had the sound off. I wasn't even paying any attention whatsoever to it.
So,
I was just pissed that I was losing.
Your son's played this a lot. What kind of racing games does he like to play on it that you guys have tried with it so far?
So, he plays all the Gran Turismo games.
Oh, nice.
Nice.
He's got a lot of Need for Speed games. Let me see. Midnight Club is another one. He's got Ford Racing, Ferrari Racing. You know, for me, when I play it, you know, I like Midnight Club is the one that he has. You know, it's kind of a throwback to when I've been kind of on again, off again with racing games. My big racing game, you know, favorite was really Need for Speed Underground.
Ooh,
back when I was in college.
Good call.
It's the best racing game ever.
It's really good.
Especially when you play with colorblind people who can't design their own cars.
It's great.
Okay,
Right.
question
So,
for you.
I mean, you know, that was really my big love of racing games was that. I mean, we
That's a good
stayed
one.
up all night in college playing that game, drinking. It was a freaking blast.
Drinking and
You
driving.
know?
That's a good call. All right, so if without the electronics, without the PS3, without the monitor, what's the hard cost for somebody to build something like this? Estimate.
Yeah, so like I said, wood's about $100 is what I've got in it. The play seat is, you know, there's various options. The one I went with, I think, was about $280. You know, you can pick up, you can forego the coin door if you want to save, I think,
Bullshit.
30 or $40.
I'll get you one for free.
Right.
Send that to Ben at guysgamesandbeer.net.
I don't check that
You know
email.
we're gonna get one of those.
You know you're gonna get one, yeah. All right, continue though, please.
Right. So, I mean, you know, there's really just not that much in it. You know, you can build this pretty cheap. I already had the steering wheel system, right? Those can really set you back. But, you know, I think that most of the people who are interested in this, they've already got the steering wheel system. They've already got the game system that they want to do it with. They may already have the TV, right? So, then you're talking about, like I said, $100 in wood, and then your seat. You know, the seat system is $280 to $300 depending on options and brand.
Now car seats starting to look good.
So for custom build, that's not horribly expensive.
Yeah, I've seen some people sink some serious money into their racing.
So you dropped that a bit there. So you're thinking sub 500s complete.
Not counting
not counting the game and the game and the TV.
Steering wheel.
Yeah. No, that was for the actual unit itself.
So
Yep.
Son of a gun.
Yeah, if you went with play seat, you could build this for under $500.
Nice.
Yeah, I haven't priced some of the other brand seats, but yeah, you could build this for under $500.
Sweet. All right, so tell people where to go if they're interested in this particular Kickstart. Now, before any of our listeners go to this Kickstart, this is really a nothing Kickstart, guys. This is their goals are like ungodly realistic, okay? You really need to go and support these guys.
You're talking a $20 price point here. Right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So,
And I don't think the goal mark is even like.
no, goal mark. You are the first. You're the lowest goal mark I've ever seen on Kickstart. So, what is your Kickstart though?
All right, so the Kickstart name is DIY Arcade Racing Cabinet. So
All right.
if you go on the Kickstarter, search for DIY Arcade Racing Cabinet, it'll come right up. You know, and to your point, I wanted to set the goal low. You know, we're really more interested in getting this out there. You know, a successful project and just doing something cool.
I'm running home and doing it today.
That's right. So, we will have a link on our website for this, so you guys really need to go there and check this out. If you're into racing games, this is a really cool cabinet. The build looks fantastic. I'm dying to see the plans and see how they look. Um,
And it's awesome because he gives you the plans.
yeah.
You're gonna,
You know what?
if you need to adjust or want to adjust or modify or whatever you want to do, it's already there.
All right.
And there's a coloring book.
So we will ask him first. We already heard his favorite racing game.
Yeah, we already know.
So, so we're gonna go on to the next topic, which is
more about the color.
what our favorite racing games is. We already know what yours is now, so now we'll tell you what ours are. Rob,
Right
Oh.
into it. Right into it.
Right into it.
Yeah,
All right,
right
I'm
into
going
it.
to talk flat out too. It's a classic combat racing game. It's kind of older. I mean, it's, the early 2000s.
platform.
Everything. Pretty much anything.
Really?
You
Oh.
can get it on your you can get it on your PC, you can get it on the PlayStation 2, you can get it on your Xboxes. You can get it on all those major platforms. It's a battle racing game. Soundtrack is excellent on it. I mean, just got an excellent soundtrack. The racing is very good controls. It can be but it can be pretty hard, and so it's a challenge. It's got a lot of different cars. It has like 3 different classes of cars, which makes it really great. And it starts out like in the dirt leagues. And you're like racing a Chevette. I mean, it's just like awesome.
Hey, nothing wrong with a Chevette.
Or a Pinto.
Or a Pinto, yes.
There's a lot wrong with a Pinto, but nothing
A
wrong with a
Chevette
Chevette.
because it doesn't have real cars in it. So it'd be a
Chevento.
Chevento, yeah.
It explodes on impact.
Yeah, and it's just a great game. You can get it for about $5 nowadays. It's just a great game.
Oh, good to know. Good to know.
All right, how about it, Tom?
I'm gonna go really old school with my favorite racing
Oh,
game.
surprise, surprise.
Okay,
Shocked face!
I'm old, okay?
Holy
So,
shit, he admits it!
So there's a game called Stunt Car Driver, which was for the Amiga. And the beauty of this game, not a really great single-player game, but you could hook 2 computers together back in the day before we actually could do that. And you got a first-person view racing against each other around these elevated tracks.
It's a good game.
It is a brilliant game. See, and all these games would play really good on a nice cockpit where you could hook up your system to and sit
Well,
down
it
and
had
play
good
them.
first-person view.
Right, see?
And the controls were tight. Racing games, especially sort of maybe realistic ones, tend to put you in a wall in an instant, which is maybe right for going 200 miles an hour, but not super fun.
Right.
Yeah.
If you die
I
all the time,
disagree.
it takes a lot of fun out of the game.
I disagree.
All right,
Really?
bye.
All
We'll
right.
get to you later.
Oh, I'm coming straight back to that topic.
All right. We'll come back to that topic.
But kart games have a tendency to have a little more, let's call it grip, to their racing feel.
Right.
And this was one of the games that
You had some grip on it. You didn't slide
Yeah,
over the edge.
yeah,
automatically.
you
You
could-
could go over the edge,
you
but
could, but you didn't.
And you
like,
often did.
well, yeah, but
as soon as you had left, you weren't already over the
yes,
wall.
thank you, and that's it. That's the point.
You
All right, Travis, how about
No,
you?
I'm cutting you off. Actually.
Oh wait.
One of my games
shit.
older than yours.
Really?
Yes.
Oh,
Hard
suck a-
Driving came out before Stunt Driver.
Yes, suck a
What
Jerry and
system?
dick.
What system?
It was an arcade cabinet. Also came out on the Genesis, MS-DOS. It came out a bunch of stuff. And Hard Driving is very accurate because it was a bitch.
It was some hard driving.
It really was. It was really difficult. It was basically the idea was like having like actual
So it
like
wasn't
high.
like hard driving. It was like hard driving.
Yeah, it was hard to stay on the road when you're going through speeds and stuff.
Yeah.
Me and my brothers liked it because of that, and it was fun because we tried to see if we could get farther and stuff. It was a lot of fun, actually. Yeah, it was released in '89.
Wow, that is older.
So
okay.
the complete lack
The
of
year I was
control
born, actually.
was the exciting part.
yeah,
of the
yeah,
game.
the fact you couldn't control your car.
Because it
Are
was
you sure
specifically-
they just weren't crappy coders?
No. But I actually want to bring up because even though I'm not really a racing game person, I have several games I wanted to talk about because to me, you could say, yeah, racing games, but there's actually a big variety, like Larry was talking about. Kart games.
Right,
One of my favorite racing games, Crash Team Racing.
Yeah.
That game is damn fun.
Who's Crash Team?
Crash
Bandicoot.
Yes.
So
I wanted to make
that's
you
one of my
say it.
favorite games. I had a blast with that. It's a lot of fun, and it adds like the whole weapons and combat, like Rob was talking about.
Right.
Then one of the other games, which is probably I would say is probably my absolute favorite racing game, Road Rash.
Oh.
Fucking
yeah, okay.
love
Oh, yeah,
Road
we
Rash.
didn't even get in a motorcycle race game, but that's a good point.
That's a racing game.
I know, I didn't.
That
You did not hear me say that
we
wasn't.
should define it because we are not talking about motorcycle DIY today. We are talking DIY car racing.
No.
No.
We're talking about racing games.
Yeah, we were talking about racing games. We did
No,
not specify.
I want to limit it to cars.
All right, Travis, how about you?
So for mine, and again, I played this a ton in college. It's gonna be Burnout 3. Again, it was on PS2 and Xbox. Burnout series is a great racing game in general, but the best part of it is its crash party mode, which is you can play up to 6 players, and your goal is you get various tracks. You're supposed to take your car and crash into traffic and deal as much dollars of damage as possible. So you have to combo on different vehicles and things like that and try to create a giant crash, which is just always hilarious after a few beers in college.
No, where
but
does
it's
the
also
race element come in?
there's a racing mode to it. It's a regular racing game otherwise, but you can also run your friends off the road and be dicks to each other, which is a lot of fun. It's an arcade racing
that's
game.
a real plus.
It's an arcadey racing game,
Which is exactly why I like Road Rash, because that was fun. Because not only can you kick and knock people
Right.
out, you also get chains and
And stealing
fast.
somebody's weapon is just
Remember
so
that
nice.
time
in that
as
game.
kids we came out with the idea that they should have sidecars and had 2-player mode, and then they came out with Road Rash Jailbreak.
That was
Yeah,
a good
I'm still
idea.
convinced.
Road Rash
I'm
2!
still convinced they took that from our ideas as kids, even though they had no idea.
I'm still convinced they still do that.
As children, we came up with the premise of Road Rash Jailbreak, and then 5 years later, it came out on the N64,
And we geeked out.
and
it was
we got
weird.
we got $0.
Did
for
you
it.
email the manufacturer?
No, they
and
are
never
bugging
emailed
us.
you back?
Pre-email Dave. Pre-email
Oh,
Dave.
because I got to tell you,
Snail
that
mail.
happened to me once.
Yeah. All right, Ben.
So you guys already know I'm gonna say bump and jump.
Oh, I knew you. I knew you were going to say bump and jump.
Yep. And people, dedicated listeners, know I'm gonna say bump and jump. But then there's Interstate 86, and also F-Zero X.
80? Is it
Interstate
76 and then
76.
82?
Then 86.
Yeah, okay.
86 was the
82 is the-
80s one.
No, 82.
82, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay,
that
I'm
was
sorry.
so good.
I was thinking about getting 86. From
You
a bar.
put them
My
both
bad.
together. You made them into
Yeah,
Interstate
but
86.
that series was just great. It was just car customizations where it's not racing, it's car combat, but you still have to use racing stuff to play the game.
You got to get there first.
Yeah, you blow everybody up.
Okay,
And that's
all
how you
right,
get
then
first.
it's racing.
Yeah.
And
You
then
got to get there first.
There are
That's the
race tracks
definition
that you
of
can-
racing.
Oh, thanks, Trav. Trumped.
Like what? How did he
He's
trump
got
me?
race. There's racetracks, dude. Deal with
No,
it.
I just said you got to get there first.
Yeah, racetracks.
Whether it's 20 laps, 1 lap, you got to get there first.
Okay.
So,
And then,
no Trump.
Whatever, dude.
You gotta get to everybody dead first.
Back to a
Everybody
political
did first.
conversation. No
race
Trump.
track. No, and then F-Zero series, the F-Zero X was big memory of it being in McDonald's when they had N64s in McDonald's.
Oh, God,
And just being
yeah.
I gotta wait for my food. Screw this.
We
I'm
played
gonna
that
go play
in
some video.
Excite Bike a crap ton.
Yeah, just so much. So yeah, I knocked out 3 games,
Nice.
and we're skipping Tyler because he jumped in front of Travis. Larry.
He can rerun.
If he's got something else he wants to bring up.
I actually did think of one other game that I really enjoyed. A lot of these are older games, from when I was a kid, because again, I'm not a big race game person, but it was just more so hang out with my brothers and stuff and playing these games. Jet Moto. It is not a car vehicle. It's like little hover bikes.
Yes.
And
Yeah.
and it was specifically because of weird physics, because you're hovering and you fly up.
And you
It-
slid on corner. I do
Yes,
remember that.
it was
wasn't
an
it?
awesome
Yeah.
game. Yes.
There is an argument to be made, and I've seen some really good articles that futuristic racers are way better than realistic ones on Earth, because you don't have to really abide by realistic
Yeah.
rules, and they can be a lot more fun, and you can get a lot more creative and interesting.
And that's why I
with
liked it, because the
mechanics.
controls really they flowed, and it was awesome.
Ooh, call back.
Yeah, call that. Go ahead.
Star Wars Pod Racer.
Hell yeah! That
On the N64.
Yep.
Yep. Good call. Good call.
And those really, really cool arcade machines we actually got to sit in the pods. Those were
The N64 version was pretty darn good.
Again, back to that's a harken back to the arcade experience and why a cabinet like we've been talking about is something you might want to do for a DIY project. Is that
bonus points.
idea of
Do your-
you know
Do your intestines?
Yeah,
DUI.
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 DUI?
DUI, that's Wisconsin.
Yeah, that's later
That's
on.
Wisconsin.
Anyway, but that idea of having a cabinet, the cabinet that sort of enhances the experience, you know?
All right, Joe, so besides Outrun 3, is there any one other one? Was it Outrun 3? No, it was Outrun 3. Which one was his?
No, we played for Need for Speed Underground a lot.
Yeah.
Oh,
Challenge,
I'm sorry. I missed that.
Yeah.
I never think of Outrun.
But don't
Yeah,
do
you
so.
know,
Outrun. Outrun is awesome.
So
It was Midnight Club.
Outrun is awesome. You know, I would throw back to like some really old school racing games when I was young. They, you know, like Pole Position was probably the first racing game I ever played.
You just took Rob, but that's okay. Keep going, keep going.
I loved it. You know what? It was the first person racing game that I ever played. You know, which made it cool for me.
Sometimes in cabinet form and sometimes in stand-up form.
Yeah, and that's interesting because that one did actually have a
Sometimes in maiden form on a pole.
cabinet form one.
Tomorrow night,
which was
maiden.
really good.
I mean, the first Cowgirl cabinet was great. What?
Wow.
Pole position rocked.
Okay.
Yeah, Pole
I did.
Position did. All right, so Rob, how about
Wait,
you?
you're just skipping me.
All right,
Just-
you already did
just-
mine.
You did. You just blow me away.
We did mine.
No, I commented
Oh,
on
never mind.
others'
Continue,
delightful experience.
All right, what was yours, Larry?
No, I don't even want to tell you.
Come on, tell us, Larry.
Oh my
Come
God,
on,
Larry.
All right, so I love racing games. I come from a racing family. I love racing games. So there's the mounting pile of wonderful racing games that are out there. You know, I'm going to mention a few, and then I'm going to go into one that's I appreciate, but many would probably not consider it a great racing game. So, obviously, Speed Devils for Sega.
Speed
was
Busters,
awesome.
man.
Speed Devils
There's
was
Speed
awesome.
Busters on the PC. If you're a PC player, it's Speed Busters. It was
Yeah.
really good on it.
Nobody should play it on the PC.
Yeah, no, they
should
should.
buy a Sega and pick the game up. It is
The
Speed
graphics
Devils.
were better on the.
No, just
the game was
the
tighter.
shoulder pads work so good
It
for
was.
gas and brake. It was perfect.
Yeah, you can play with the game.
Anyway,
Wow.
I'm saying.
no, I'm just saying you're wrong.
I'm
It's
saying. Nah, I'm not. It's
Dreamcast
just another game.
version, Speed Devils. By the way, the Dreamcast emblem is featured in the background of most episodes
Of guys games.
IT crowd.
Oh,
Just so you know.
Huh.
If you look in the background of
Easter
the
egg.
IT crowd, Speed Devils poster is in the background.
nice.
So,
I
yeah.
remember that actually.
There are two versions of it, an online version.
All right, so what else?
Anyway.
And you know, and nobody's mentioned, and I'm just gonna throw this one out there as a way to get to the one that I really want to get to.
Well, get there.
Yeah, it's not that hard. Larry.
there's
Come on.
the top-down ones, like
Skid marks?
Skid
Over top.
marks,
Yeah.
or, you know, any
Which
of the
now works, by the
top-down version ones, or micro machines,
You
or
know,
something
Mike
like.
down. I love Super RC Pro Am.
Oh yeah, RC Pro Am.
Nice. See, but I think
I loved it. I played it for hours.
It is. It
can't
was a
deny
great
that
game. It
man's
had
love.
progression.
No, you can't.
I listed that as one of my top 5 racing games of all time.
That is maybe the problem with the topic. It almost needs categorization.
Yeah.
To go, what's your best top-down racing game?
Well, it's the
What's
same
your
thing with
best?
any genre. If
Yeah.
you go, what's your favorite
What's
shooter?
your best
Like,
street racing
kind?
game? You know,
Yeah.
racer. You know,
Yeah.
that kind of thing. But now, one for me, and
This is
That's like
those
number-
that
yeah.
this is number 3.
I
3.
grew up on the side of a racetrack, and the side of the
His house
He was
racetrack.
actually
there.
born on the side of the racetrack.
Yeah, his house
Under
was right
power
there.
lines.
I mean,
That's not a completely untrue story.
Oh, let's not go into it. now.
Continue.
Oh,
continue.
God.
It's not a completely
Oh,
untrue story.
Rosebud was
So-
his sled.
No, really. I grew up on the side of racetrack.
Had to do it,
and
didn't ya?
at the time, my dad was a midget car racer. And so the one that really just like hit home for me, and it works. It's a pretty good racing game. Is Saturday Night Racing. It's a PlayStation game. It's got midget racing in it. It's got sprint car racing. It's got modifieds in it, and all the different tracks. Some
And
of the
disco.
Some of the tracks. What?
And disco.
And disco.
It does, see?
And disco. And some of the tracks, Rob, who used to race with my dad.
Yeah, I did. No, my
He
dad
personally did. It was great. He was like 2. He was like racing.
out there.
No, his dad used to race with my dad, and he probably knows some of the tracks, much like I did, that are in the game. So it's probably not a game for everyone, but for me,
For nostalgia's sake.
it was awesome. And it featured 2 modes that I really appreciate. Third person, which generally speaking, as a handling, I appreciate third person better.
Right.
But it
Does
also
everybody
had
agree on that? I
first
agree with
person.
that.
I agree with that.
I agree with third person. Yeah.
Third person for
I like
handling.
third person. I like to see the car.
Yeah.
That's the only reason why.
I know. I like to see the car too. And then it also had first person for that person who really wants to see
Have that
like,
feel.
have that tunnel vision feel. Because I don't feel like most first person can actually deliver what we actually can see.
Yeah,
with
well, you
the
have the
first
sides
person.
They can't.
Which is why third person works.
Especially older
and
games.
it's actually more what we see.
Oculus
you know?
Rift.
Well, that's what
So-
I love now.
So Saturday night racing
Nice.
is my favorite.
Oh my God! Just imagine it. You're sitting there in your
I gotta
arcade
tell you
cabinet, racing cabinet with an Oculus Rift on. You look and feel awesome. All right, I'm sorry.
All
I'm
right,
okay now.
yeah. So
But you can't
actually,
see it
I
'cause
gotta
you're
tell
in
you,
your Oculus
Yes.
I think I'm gonna build this rig just to play it Saturday night.
Dang.
Yeah,
For that reason alone.
that's right.
That's dedication.
That and masturbate.
Yeah.
All right.
With or without the scissors.
So-
Can't remember.
Oh, Larry Scissorhands.
Joe, I'm going to have you one more time. Tell people what your Kickstart site is.
Kickstarter project is the DIY arcade racing cabinet.
Links in the description.
You bet. And Rob, you should probably take us out at this point.
I will take us out.
Did you have any love before you?
I felt a lot of love.
You gonna get us some love?
I got some love, but it's going to be for MGC, which is coming up right after this episode. As this episode airs, MGC is but a day away for you VIGs. It's 2 days away for you regular folk out there. But you're not regular. Every one of you is special. So I might as well face the camera for once.
Look at how beautiful
Get-
he is.
So
And
don't
look how
forget,
sensual.
Look at Rob's great.
if you're
pussy.
catching this on day
Better with
one,
glasses.
and it's if you are catching this on day one,
Hey, guys.
like most of you do, there is still Saturday and Sunday left for the Midwest Gaming Classic. www.midwestgamingclassic.com. And of course, you can check us out at www.guysgamesandbeer.net. You can also check us out on Facebook, where we are all the time giving away games, talking crap, putting up ridiculously stupid memes. It's been a rough week for the memes.
It has been.
It has been a rough week
Oh
for
my
the
God.
memes, yes. And that's www.facebook.com/guysgamesandbeer. You can check us out on Twitter at guysgamesbeer. At guysgamesbeer, I said. No and in there. And thank you very much.
If you are coming out to Midwest Gaming Classic, make sure to stop down by our room. We are going to be giving away things all weekend long. We've got some Google Cardboards to give away. We will have some special giveaways from our buddies at Godfrog Games. We will have some European import miscellaneous stuff we're going to be giving away. Stop by. You never know what you're going to get.
And we have Larry's thong.
Besides being able to see
So
all of
many
the
thongs.
cool new gear we're going to be showing
Wear
off
every one
this
of
year.
Yep.
All right.
Thank you very much for watching this episode of Guys, Games, and Beer. We will catch you next week. That will be recorded live while we're getting ready for the Midwest Gaming Classic. Pretty excellent, in my
We'll
opinion.
mostly be napping by then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Followed by
By napping,
another
he
episode
means
the
passed
following
out.
week that will actually be recorded proper at the Midwest Gaming Classic with a lot of our friends.
Which will be our 200th episode.
Which will be
Holy crap! 200.
And if you've been listening since
You guys
episode
thought
1,
we would quit.
I am so sorry.
That is insane dedication.
Not all.
Thanks, Joe, for coming in.
We'll see you all at MGC.
Happiness in.